Dear students, in the last class we discussed the pointers. So in the pointer concept, so we will discuss the pointers and object. So pointers and object means, so normally we can create the object with the help of class name. For example, if it is a class name student, so we can create student yes. Pointers to the object means, again we can create the object with the help of pointer. Just you can put the one star symbol. For example, here student yes is a normal object. Pointer object means we can create the star of R. Here yes is the normal object and R is the pointer object. If it is a pointer object means compulsory we can assign the normal object address to the pointer. That's why we can write R is equal to and of yes. We already discussed it in the last class. So if it is normal means we can call s dot display and s dot read like that. If it is pointer means we can call with the help of arrow mark r dot read and or dot display. So this is the pointers and object. And one more concept we discussed in the last class, that is pointers and arrays or array of pointers. So pointers and arrays means at the time of reading the array elements, the array is directly converted into the pointer. So we have to use star a plus of I at the time of reading the values. Here a indicates the base address and I indicates the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So every time I will be incremented, it means that the base address I is added to the base address, means indirectly the address will be incremented and the values are stored in the particular pointer variable. If you want to print means again we have to use the same method. So today we will discussing the next topic, that is pointers and the string. Pointers and the string. Pointers and strings. Pointers and strings. So we already know that. So string means it is a collection of characters. So collection of characters enclosed within the double quotes. Collection of characters enclosed within the double quotes. For example, char a of 10 is equal to x, y, z. X, y, z. Here position x, y, z and finally it is the last character must be a null character. Null character, how to identify the null character? Backslash of 0 indicates the null character. Here the position is 0, 1, 2, 3. So just I can consider 3. A of 3, char of A of 3 is x, y, z. Char A of 3 is equal to x, y, z. The first, always the position starts with 0 and end with the last position, and that last position is the null character. So why we have to choose the null character? Here null character indicates the end of the string. So this is the string. So pointer string means char star A is equal to x, y, z. See the difference here. See the difference. Char star A is equal to x, y, z. Here x, y, z is there. It is stored in A of 3. Means it consists of 3 characters and the first character is x and the second character is y and the third character is z and the last character must be an alphabet. Last character must be an null character, that is end of the string. And if it is pointer character means always the A belongs to the base address 101, 102, 103. Here char star A. Here char star A means pointer character. Here A belongs to the base address, that is 101. If I write A plus plus, it is pointing to the next character, that is 102. Again if I apply plus plus means again it is pointing to the third character, that is Z. So this is pointers and string. With the help of pointer character, again it is possible to get all the characters. If you know the initial value, if you know the initial address, so just you can increment one character, you can increment the one address, it is pointing to the next character. It is pointing to the next character. So here A belongs to A refer to 101. If I print star A means it will print X. A plus plus, again it pointing to 102. If I write again A plus plus, again it is pointing to 103. So this is pointers and the string. The next is memory allocation methods. Memory allocation methods. Memory allocation techniques or methods. Memory allocation techniques or methods. There are two methods. First one is static memory allocation. Static memory allocation. Second one is dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation. So there are two methods. First one is the static memory allocation and second one is the dynamic memory allocation. So static memory allocation means, so advanced we know that how the memory is allocated to the variable, that is how much memory is allocated to the particular variable. For example, if I write int a of 5, here int a of 5 means, so advanced we know that user already know that, so 10 bytes will be reserved for this array. For one integer 2 bytes. Here the maximum size is 5 means 10 bytes are reserved in the system. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಸೊ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸರ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೆಮರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೈಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೆಮರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೆಮರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ at the time of executing the program, the memory will be allocated. If I click on the run button after writing the program, if I click on the run, that time the memory will be allocated. Here int a of 5 means at the time of compilation, if I click on the compile, the memory will be allocated to this array. Next question is how much memory is allocated. So it depends on the size, it depends on the data type of the variable. Here also same, but the difference is at the time of executing the program, the system or the memory will be allocated to the particular variables. That is the dynamic memory allocation. So there are two methods to allocate the memory. So first one is So static memory allocation, and second one is dynamic memory allocation. And one more thing is int a of 5. If I want to execute, if I want to enter the 5 elements of type integer, so I can execute the program. So maximum you can enter 5 elements. Suppose if you want to extend the number of elements, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕ್ರಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಸೊ ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 7. ನಾನು 5 ಇದ್ದದ್ದು 7 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸನ್ನ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಮರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್. It is not possible in the static memory allocation. So whatever the memory will be allocated, that is fixed in the static memory allocation, and in the dynamic memory allocation it is not fixed. You can extend. If I want 5 elements, so you can enter the 5 elements. If I want 10 elements, again it is possible in the dynamic memory allocation, because dynamic memory allocation uses the new keyword or new operator to allocate the memory. Here we can change the size. Here it is not possible to change the size. And in the static memory allocation, so whatever the memory will be allocated, so it is stored in a stack area. But this dynamic is stored in heap area. Then what is the stack and what is heap? So usually in the computer, memory indicates, so in case of execution, so I always told that, so that belongs to the primary memory, that is main memory. Because always the execution can be done inside the main memory. So this main memory is divided into the subparts with respect to the programming language. So it consists of global declaration area, and it consists of some stack area, it consists of heap area, it consists of main function area. It means that, so if we declare global variables, so that can be stored in this area. Stack area means, see here, static memory allocation. So whatever the memory will be allocated in the static method, so that values, that the memory is reserved in the stack area. Heap area means it is completely for the dynamic. If you are writing the program with the help of new and delete operator, so that belongs to the dynamic. Or with the help of pointer with new operator and delete operator, so that is completely a dynamic. That time the memory will be allocated in the heap area, and the remaining thing is main function. It can store the functions, user defined functions as well as inbuilt functions. Okay, so we can concentrate only on the stack area and heap area. Suppose if the stack area, so this is the stack area and this is the heap area. So if the program is complex, or if it consists of n number of lines, if the stack area is full, means it can take the area from the heap. Suppose if you are working with the heap area, if it is full, means it can take the area from the stack. Only stack area is free or heap area is free. So this is completely about the static method, static allocation and dynamic memory allocation. So this is very, very important for 3 marks. So maximum time, so in the final exam they have to ask the differences. 3 marks, static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. So I said that new operator. So then what is new operator? New operator. Here new is a keyword first of all. In generally we have to consider new is a keyword, or we can call it as a new operator also. Here new operator is used to allocate the memory for the pointer variables. For example, int star p is equal to new of p, but you cannot write int p is equal to new of p like this. So this is invalid. So this new keyword work with a pointer variable. Work with the pointer variable. Here we have to write data type, not the variable. See here, int star p is a pointer variable. Here this new will be new operator is used to allocate the memory for the pointer variable. So how much memory will be allocated? It is of int type. The size of the integer is 2 bytes. So here new operator will allocate the 2 bytes for the pointer variable. Again new can be used with subscript. New can be used with the subscript, that is int of 5. Again int of 5 means array. Okay. Another one is there, that is the delete operator. Delete. Delete operator. New operator is used to allocate the memory for the variables. Delete operator is used to destroy the variables. For example, delete p. Simply you can write delete and pointer variable name. Here int star p is equal to new of int. Here the memory will be allocated, and delete of p means whatever the memory is there, allocated memory is there, that can be completely destroyed, that can be free. So that's why we can use the delete of p, or you can use the subscript for destroying the arrays. For destroying the arrays. Last topic, pointers and structures. Pointers and structures. Pointers and structures. So we know that structure very well in the first year. Structure means it is a collection of heterogeneous data elements. Heterogeneous means different kinds of data can be stored in one name. Different kinds of data can be stored in one name. For example, we have to write like this: struct. Struct keyword is used to define the structure. Struct sample. So just I can declare int a, int b. Like this we have to define the structure. So we already studied in the first year. And if it is a structure means we can create the structure variable. Then how to create the structure variable? Struct sample. Yes. Struct sample consists of int of a and int of b, and I can create the one variable, that is the structure variable. It is structure variable. Suppose if it is a pointer variable means we can create the one more variable, that is the star of r. Pointers to the object we already studied in the previous class, and just I have to revise today only. First we can assign r is equal to and of s. Here also same. R is equal to and of S. Here S and R are the not the object, S and R are the structure variables. S is a normal structure variable and R is the pointer structure variable. So if it is a pointer means I said that first we can assign the address of S to the R. And how to assign the values to A and B? It consists of star R dot A is equal to 10, star R dot B is equal to 20. See here. Here R is the pointer variable. How to assign the values to the structure variable means star of R, it is a pointer variable, dot structure member A, star R dot A is equal to 10 and star R dot B is equal to 20. Like this we can assign the values to the structure members, pointers and structure. Normally we can create the structure. How to create the structure? So just we can struct keyword is used to define the structure. Struct sample int A int B. After closing the structure, you can create the one structure variable and one pointer variable. And in the pointer variable, we can assign the addresses. How to access? Star R dot A is equal to 10, star R dot B is equal to 20. So it's a complete the pointers chapter. It is a very easy chapter. It consists of 3 to 4 topics. Okay. So I will send the notes today or tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.